Make sure to subscribe to my channel, because what I'm about to share shook my entire life from the inside out. I never imagined a simple lunch could rip apart everything I thought I understood about my world. My name's Nathan, and Laura and I have been married for almost 10 years. From the outside, everything looked solid. A comfortable home, steady jobs, the occasional weekend getaway. But lately, something in the air felt off. At first, I blamed stress. She was pulling longer hours. And I told myself I was imagining things when I caught her scrolling through her phone with this private little smile. But intuition rarely lies. It began with a text. I only caught flashes, quick notifications that vanished before I could fully read them. Then one afternoon, curiosity got the best of me. She left her phone unlocked on the counter while she hopped in the shower. My heart pounded as I picked it up, bracing myself for whatever I might find. And there it was. Explicit, clear, brutal. Laura and her co-worker, Eric, weren't just flirting. They were deep into an affair. The words burned into my mind, cruel in their honesty. I froze, shock numbing every part of me. I didn't confront her right away. I couldn't. My mind spiraled, replaying every moment from months before, searching for hints I had ignored. Every laugh, every gentle touch, suddenly felt like pieces of lies she had carefully choreographed. I felt blind, foolish, furious, and beneath it all, a cold determination began to form. I wasn't letting this slide. Hiring a private investigator felt like crossing a line I never thought I'd approach, but I needed the truth laid out clean. When Jordan, the investigator, handed over the file, everything snapped into focus. Photos, timestamps, receipts, meetings she'd sworn were work-related. Their betrayal wasn't speculation. It was documented. Her smiles on our anniversary, the kisses she still gave me, they all felt like well-crafted illusions meant to keep me quiet. Confronting Laura alone wasn't enough. I wanted precision, clarity, and something close to poetic justice. Eric had a wife, Christine, who had no idea she was living in the middle of someone else's lies. She deserved the truth as much as I did. As I reviewed every detail that night, I understood something. The confrontation couldn't be private. It needed to be clear, inescapable, and impossible to twist. The morning of the confrontation, I stayed calm. Anger wasn't going to lead this. Truth would. I rehearsed what I'd say, how I'd present the evidence, how each person might react. I reminded myself that this wasn't revenge in the dramatic sense. It was about honesty, accountability, and reclaiming my dignity. When Laura walked in later with a carefree smile after her lunch with Eric, my stomach twisted. That smile, once familiar, now felt like a blade. But I kept my expression steady. Before facing her, I contacted Christine. She was blindsided, hurt, furious, and shaken. We agreed to meet. She hadn't suspected a thing, and revealing the truth with evidence was going to shatter her world as much as mine. By the time Laura came home, everything was in place. The evidence, the people who needed to be present, and a calm clarity inside me that surprised even myself. I knew once the photos and texts were out in the open, everything she'd built would collapse. When she stepped into the living room, still smiling, I met her gaze, quiet, unflinching. The room went still. This was the moment everything changed. Her smile faded the instant I placed a pile of evidence on the table. Screenshots, photos, logs, each one a sharp, unfiltered truth. Eric's name, once harmless, now echoed betrayal. Her eyes widened. Panic replaced her practiced calm. I never raised my voice. I didn't need to. The evidence spoke louder than anything I could have said. Christine sat across from her, fury simmering beneath the surface. She absorbed every detail, her heartbreak visible in every breath. The silence between us all was thick, heavy, and suffocating. Laura stumbled through excuses, each one unraveling more of her lie. Eric, confronted by both of us, crumbled in front of Christine. His confidence vanished, replaced by shame and fear. It didn't take long for the truth to root itself. No denial could survive the evidence. What followed was swift. Both their marriages began to collapse. Divorce papers were filed within days. Eric's workplace found out he'd been involved with a subordinate, and his once polished reputation disintegrated almost overnight. Laura, stripped of denial, was forced to face consequences she never expected. Through all this, I remained steady, not vengeful, just in control. Watching the fallout didn't bring gloating satisfaction, it brought validation. Proof that truth has weight. In the days after, I sifted through what remained of my marriage, memories, objects, emotions. Some things I held on to, others I let go of. And slowly, clarity settled in. Healing didn't come in a straight line. There were days filled with doubt, loneliness, and confusion, but also days of quiet growth. I learned that recovering from betrayal isn't about erasing the past. It's about reclaiming your sense of worth. I focused on work, friendships, and rediscovering pieces of myself I'd forgotten. Meanwhile, Laura and Eric struggled under the weight of guilt and the harsh light of truth. Their secret world couldn't survive the exposure. Christine and I crossed paths occasionally once the dust cleared, not to dwell, but to acknowledge how far we'd come, the strength we'd found in the wreckage. By the end of the year, I wasn't just rebuilding my life, I was reshaping my perspective. I stepped into relationships more cautiously, but with a deeper appreciation for honesty and transparency. Laura lost almost everything: the marriage, her image, and the comfort of deception. Eric's life changed just as drastically, a testament to choices made in the shadows. And me? I walked out with my dignity intact. I proved to myself that facing the truth head-on, no matter how painful, is freedom. Sometimes, late at night, I think back to that lunch, how easy it was for betrayal to hide behind a smile. And I realize how fragile trust becomes when mishandled. But I also recognize my own resilience, my ability to stand firm, confront the truth, and rise above someone else's decisions. Life moved forward. So did I, stronger, wiser, and finally at peace. Because truth and integrity outlast deceit every single time. Some relationships crumble under lies, but self-worth? If you protect it, it only grows stronger. Betrayal leaves scars, sure, but it also leaves lessons. And those lessons rebuild not just a life, but a soul.